Well, morning guys, what's going on? It's practically 7 o'clock in the morning. Still the 22nd of September 2021. It's Wednesday. Where is that? See, that's my It's about 5 minutes before 7 o'clock in the morning. And try to get into the English assignment at 2:30. Trying to get that going on. Apparently, I don't think the professor understood the material. So maybe he probably did. Because maybe students probably have a hard time. And trying to deal with authoritative figures. And then when they happen to run into Ecclesiastes, I just did a run through of it. I mean, it helps when I go through the YouTube and see a few other interpretations of what the thing is. And basically, it settles out to Yolo. Only live once. Do what shit you want. You're not going to get any more time in life. You're not going to. Your life is finite. And the thing of this, we all have to understand that. Even I have to understand that my time is finite. We're terrified of death. We're terrified of the unknown at this point over here. Now, I've said it before to many videos. I've posted it again to them. Our technologies may fail us and we may lose whoever we are out there. But if it does survive and it does outlast us, so be it. And if it does, maybe the wisdom of our own insanity or whatever we're learning can benefit people. Fine, cool. Sure as hell it's going to benefit me, so I might as well keep doing the videos just to put it out there. And if people will understand, the people who have actually, the creators and the authors who made the item, in one way they're living a little bit of immortality, a little bit. You only live once. Keep saying that. And in some circles of recovery, they say that acceptance is everything. You have to accept that you screwed up. Accept that there's power greater than yourself. Turn it over. Accept that the power's going to help you out. Of course, you got to find your own side of the street. Make amends. Help the next person out. As you can. Boiling down a little bit more than what it usually is, but still. But you were told a long time ago that you only have a little bit of finite life, so might as well make the best of it. So a lot of people try to do. They try to struggle and struggle and struggle. Or they just don't do a damn thing. Some people don't like the hippies because they're not struggling as much, and hippies don't like the other guys because they're struggling so much. So when I can look at it in the morning, I actually see a pretty sunrise. I've seen some pretty ones. I like the better when they have the clouds right for the sunrise. And you can see the sun rays. Or the morning sun going across the deserts out here in the Antelope Valley. It's just almost becoming sunrise. And then you see, oh, sometimes I'm grateful to wake up in the morning and just be alive and breathing. Because I don't know if I'm not going to be alive and breathing at all. It scares me when I have to keep thinking about my life is finite at this point over here, and we all dream for the elixir of immortality. And the thing of it is, life has a mortal time span. They have their own time span. They have their own clock winding things down. We have expiration dates on our food. They only last a certain point, and then afterwards they're breaking down left and right. We either take care of them, or they become part of the entropy right there. We think that a piece of meat frozen in a freezer is going to survive. But after a while, it gets the freezer burned. No matter how much you can suck out the moisture in air, they'll still get the freezer burned because there's still water and air locked inside of it. And it's just enough to get the entropy effect in it. Basically, you gave it a little bit of a longer life, and then it started to die. That's what happens when I start looking at the stuff in my freezer. Even ice cubes. Even ice cubes will have different frost on them. Still usable, still different frost. We all have this mortal clock ticking down. And sometimes we look forward to, I don't know what we're looking forward to. I'll tell you the truth. What people may or may not be looking forward to at all. I was coming across the assignment that our professor was doing, Ecclesiastes, and when I get these kind of cliff notes, it kind of helps me out to understand the longer stuff. I figure on my shortest time, if I was a lot younger, maybe I had a little bit more of attention span, but as I'm looking at the material, I'm like, where's the cliff notes? I need to hear the whole damn thing going on and understand what's going on. Gloom and doom, shadows and dust. We're reminded of that constantly in different things, in different forms, different shows, different formats. There are nothing but shadows and dust. I suppose we are. None of this matters, except what we think matters the most at that moment. Politics, head games, murder, justice, revenge. Who's it help? Who's it serve? I don't know. You look at the instant of the moment, you look at the short time, and you're looking at maybe eventually this guy will get his just reward for murdering a woman out in Utah. I still think about that. Pretty girl to me. And the guy was asleep all because he went over to back to his folks hiding, grabs his bag and starts going into an area of the Everglades or something like that, national park where you got snakes and gators. He's going to eat his. They're going to eat his. If they capture him alive, I'll be surprised. If they don't get him and they only find a piece of him, good. But I figured once you're trying to do good, there was supposed to be an expectation, a reward of, well, then I'm supposed to be getting good back. No. But what's the difference of it? Well, karma, for one thing. Life has a way of boomeranging. Sometimes it's you get what you get, and you don't get what you get. I don't know. Some mornings I can actually try to figure things out, and it seems like it's perfectly, intelligent, makes sense. I can deal with it. And then after a while, as I'm starting thinking about it, I'm like, huh? The material I'm reading into English, Life, Death, and Life, basically. We look at the life right now as temporary. We worry about the mortal coil tearing down and breaking down. We're worried about death because death, we don't know what's beyond. And we're not supposed to know what's beyond until we get there. People say that's not fair. Yeah, well, I'll tell you one thing, that some people actually have been there and been back. And they're looking forward to going back over there again. But for the rest of us who got used to this life here, no matter how horrible and tragic it was in the beginning of it. I mean, how would you like to be having the first memory of coming out of your mother's womb and the doctor slapping your ass, trying to make sure that you're awake? Wake up, brat! Brat! Sometimes people thought I got dropped on the ground, hit my head. There were jokes about that years ago. No, they probably thought about my brother doing that one, not me. Once they found out I was quote unquote special, a guy coming out with crooked limbs and a holy heart, put things into a different perspective. That way, if I had the intelligence back then, which I didn't, my brain wasn't developed. Like all newborns, we all have to have developing brains. We all have to learn as we go and as we grow. Shove as much knowledge in there as much as we can, and make sure that we have communicational skills necessary to survive and communicate. So we actually understood what the hell was going on as kids, and we actually have an understanding of everything. Then maybe we would have appreciated life, or maybe would have said, "Oh, just kill me over and get it over with." Age of 4 years old, I had almost crossed that line. I almost had joined people in heaven. Talked about it many times. Scared the hell out of me. Came back and I wanted to go back up. And it made me fear death. But it also made me fearful of how to live life. Shadows of spoken may be, temporary as it is. We look at the mountains and we think they're forever. In geologic time, as we look at it in scientific basis, we look at it, even the mountains will have a finite limit. We just can't see it. We're ants with a short lifespan next to sequoias. They seem to be forever. On a planet that seems to have a little bit longer lifespan than we understand. In a solar system that's been around for millions of years. Possibly a billion years. Or more than that. In a galaxy that has been formed billions and billions of years. In a universe older and older than that, according to what instruments we have to measure a piece of it. See, all these things that we're taking for granted right now, a lot larger, a lot grander than we can understand. We can only understand the images that we're seeing right now. We can only understand what's around us. We can only appreciate what we have. And that's just physical items. The art of breathing in and out. Vision. The senses that we have that our brains are trying to accumulate data through. And what the senses are telling us about things around us. Sensation, tactile sensations, visualizations, good music. Life is in family, friends, people that you care about. Because the happy memories like those you carry with you. The pictures are temporary in this life because they only last as long as they will. The digits, the zeros and ones, will degrade eventually in time. So, even for me doing these things, will only have a short lifespan in the greatness of time. But during that time is where I have my time of living and sharing life with people and sharing experiences with people and sharing with them what I've learned, what I've appreciated, what I really despised like crazy, what I really loved, and what I lost. Yes, I mourn these past few years. Precious years have already gone by. Almost a decade. Or maybe longer than that. Sometimes it gets harder to tell which is which. But even during that time, as I'm looking at my life, I'm wondering, did I make good? Did I do good? Did I make any difference to people? I know things in my life have made differences. Look outside and understand that sometimes life happens. There's not a damn thing I can do about it, but just let it go and just let it happen. If things I can take care of, then I'll take care of them. If not, I will not worry. Acceptance is one of the hardest damn things for us to do and for any one of us to understand. Because some things are, I can't say eternal, but they're greater than ours. They're greater than us understanding and comprehending. People may think all this is meaningless or drivel. That's on you, not me. I look outside. I see cars racing by. People racing by to a job that thinks adds meaning in life to them. Well, maybe it does. Maybe it does. Maybe it adds enjoyment for their life for temporarily as it is. Seeing someone else's creation at work. Trying to fulfill something else. Trying to take care of paperwork. Trying to take care of mechanics. Trying to make sure the thing flies in the air, not crashes and burns. Maybe skills to be learned, passed on to people. We turn on the television and we see all the bad things happening these days, and we wonder what's the good stuff. I wake up in the morning some days and I pull out some milk and have a bowl full of cereal. Captain Crunch. You see that a lot as a kid. There was a lot of sugary cereals I ate now as a kid. That was my dad's nuts. Bones are rotten, teeth are rotten, everything else is rotten. Everything's rotten. But for the moment, just for the moment, you start to understand and you start to have epiphanies about things. Some things do matter and other things don't. For me, I wanted the distinction and the classification of getting through college, of getting a degree. But I guess there was more to it than that when I got older, because even the static old knowledge that was being passed around had some stuff. But it gave me context and perspective on how to look at other things in life. See, I'm not here chasing the paper, mostly. I'm chasing wisdom, knowledge, and the ability to possibly to pass it on in class. It's not sharing with the professor, it's sharing with the students. Sharing with the youth of what the old knows. If it happens to relate, or somewhat relate to material, then it's supposed to be on me to relay it to them. Now, I've noticed in the class I've got right now, they're not awake. I'm not talking about the woke situation. I'm talking about, and also not having enough coffee there, but enthusiasm. They're like the educational zombies in this point. I mean, you could try programming a robot to a point, but there's no enthusiasm, there's no learning for life, there's no love of learning things in life. I had to take 30 years of kicking my ass sometimes and regretting the living crap out of it while learning other things in life. Not job skills, but people, history, humanity, kindness, charity, love, duty, honor, courage, sacrifice. A lot more things. So what did I say about the mortal coils? Whew! You have to watch it on that one. Sometimes the coughing really gets to me at times. So, learning a lot of things that they don't teach you in class. that they teach you in life. Give me a different perspective and context. And then trying to understand that and appreciate it and to pass it off to you. That is our job. That is our generation's job to the next generation. We have to give our knowledge to you. To you. To the youth, to the old, to whoever. We have to share each other. We have to, our knowledge base, our intellect, our experiences, our wisdom, what we screwed up on and what we didn't screw up on. For people to challenge of the day in life, and saying you only live once, so we ought to do this thing left and right. Because tomorrow we don't know what's going to happen. Yet when we fear tomorrow, when we fear life itself, we have to save because we don't know if tomorrow we're going to be alright or not. Unfortunately, I've been learning that and doing that the hard way myself. That things like that just don't matter anymore, do they? But they should matter. Even if we think we have a limited lifespan, we still need to save save some of it to last us a little bit longer. Maybe give to the next generation, we hope, as we hope. Or maybe if there's no generation, then the state gets it in. But besides that, who gets our knowledge? Who gets our wisdom? Who gets our intellect? Who gets the little pieces of nuggets that we've left behind? I'm not talking about the physical items. I'm talking about sharing stories. Me, I've always fancied myself as a writer, as a story writer. Fiction writers are story writers. Even science fiction writers are story writers. We live for the story. We write the stories and live through them and share it with people. And in that way, we achieve our own immortality of sorts. Our fame lives on. We don't. But the work will continue on, won't it? To a point. Try this one. The great library of Alexandria was sacked. Long time ago. They had collected works. They had collected works of literature, of science, of nature, of time, of teachings, of knowledge, human discovery. And it took stupidity to nearly destroy all of it. Nearly. Pieces of the survivors, the relics, the parchments. Some of them did survive to give indications of what's going on. Some of the stories as well. But what mattered the most is we lost all that wisdom and scientific knowledge and literature, creativity, hope, passion, humanity. That's the thing that scares the hell out of me is, are we going to be going into another situation like that where everything else that we've cherished and loved and practically worshipped disappear in a puff of smoke? We want things to live on forever because in that way we live forever. We tell ourselves that in certain fashions, one way or another, that whatever we do, we will live forever. Some people think it's a mortal coil, they'll live forever. And the problem is, having a mortal coil living forever, it decays, turns into a damn skeleton. How animated would that be for a long while, just living like a decaying flesh, like a zombie? No, the zombie is when there's no life to be lived, to appreciate, to love, to dance through. Where the emotional landscape that you see is flat and barren, despite the fact you got obstacles. you look at yourself in the mirror and you probably see the age of time robbing your youth. And probably more than that. But inside you're still dancing. And you still want to dance. You still want to sing and laugh and joke and smile. And look at the sunrise. And look at the people's faces. And see maybe something in there that you didn't see before. It may be an old man's belly aching at this point, or maybe it is something to grasp onto. If this doesn't encourage you or just bores the living crap out of you, then I don't know. Maybe you got to discover your own thing. Maybe you got to discover your own Yolo out there. Some days you can appreciate a very good nap because you can dream better than places. Because real life right now seems to be unimportant. Seeing the cars driving by towards Edwards Air Force Base, you think they're all in a hurry to not live life, but exist in life. Or people racing or stuck in traffic jams because the only thing they got in life is a crummy job with a crummy paycheck and not much hope in life. They think money makes the hope. Just a tool. This is a tool. This is a tool. This is a tool. We make tools to help us with our life. This is a tool. We have many tools like these. We have many tools that makes things important in our life. This is a tool of sorts. This is to tell me that I probably will need to give me a better glass, or actually a better cup with better straws on it. I need to order me some better straws. Cup's usable. Straws are shot. But the thing is, every time we keep living the life once, and that's about it. The thing what we don't think about is the after effects. Our own influence in our short time would leave a lasting impression, a lasting effect of how we lived. Did we want to leave something for the generations? Did we want to leave something for a monument to be remembered one way or another? Did we even care? When I go, I know there's going to be a lot of junk, a lot of furniture, pins collected, pictures that probably could be posted somewhere else, electronic data, maybe a few jingles of metallic objects called coins, or maybe not. It scares me sometimes. Then again, this morning it shouldn't. Bit of clarity, bit of perspective and perception. A little context for my morning. Taking count, taking stock of what you have. I'm not talking about the physical items that you've collected throughout the years. Memories and people that you've influenced. Things you've gone through. Hopefully the things that you want to do in the first place, you're going to get that done. But if not, you only live once. So the only thing I can say is make the best of what's left of your life. Maybe short, maybe longer than mine. Just remember, there's a lot of things, a lot of people out there to remember. Don't pass by without saying hi.